This is an overview recording for Competency Standard 1, Health and Safety Functional Area 2, Lesson 1, Health and Nutrition, Checklists and Practices. As we do every week, you have your objectives, and these will be very straightforward as there are specific health practices and checklists that must be used and understood. So this will be a very specific list of objectives and skills to acquire. And also we'll be looking at what the role is in completing those practices and acquiring those skills, and also what the nature of the role is, and the idea that there is a measure of courage it takes to care for another human being's well-being. When we understand this may be a new concept, but we feel like it's an important part of the lesson. So these are the opening questions. As usual, we'll be trying to help our students and candidates understand their own unique personal connection to the topic of health and nutrition and checklists related to making sure those needs are met. So this list of questions should be exhaustive for them, meaning it covers most of the areas that they may have some understanding of in their lives now or growing up. And we hope drawing the picture of food will be a fun one for them. And as they brainstorm the list, they can begin to think about what kinds of nutritional and health practices might be involved in the lives of young children, and remembering always to include indoor and outdoor spaces. A nice kind of overview that they might want to make is looking at the different ways that children are fed, beginning as infants all the way to age 5. That might be kind of fun to do as you're brainstorming. And now when they get into small groups, as usual, they'll break this down even further and look at what they believe they know about indoor-outdoor relationships with the various age groups to make sure we're covering these incredible differences that occur in this area in particular. Here is the CDA Essentials textbook readings page. There is a lot there. So you may want to think about a little extra time on this one. There's a lot that's involved. If your students happen to be in the apprenticeship program, they will be getting a lot of this in that program as well. And this would be, some of this might be fun to practice in class, like hand washing. Anyway, it depends on the time you have, but I do want to point out that it's quite an extensive list compared to those in the past, perhaps. And again, looking at notes, now compare them with the brainstorm and collaboration time to see how what you learned compared with what you thought you knew. Really important to check in on those in these areas in particular. And a video about the art of caring that you can use again to compare. And in my toolbox talk, I will be basically going over how all of these caregiving practices are education. They're the same thing, they're not different. And that by caring, we're educating. So there's another video here, and then a beautiful quote from the video, and then looking at the various types of rituals and actions that involve care, how your attitude matters, and what the caring exchange is and what does it mean. So we're going to be talking a lot about this caring exchange as an educational component of what they do, so that we get rid of this idea that caring and education are separate things in our relationship to young children. And again, you'll be looking that over, comparing it with what you've read and you've thought before. Now you'll look at your own attitudes about all of this and discuss it as a class, and then think about it individually as usual. And then I would like for you as the teacher to determine what is the best way for the students to make something expressive about this. What aspect of this conversation ended up being incredibly important to either individual students or groups of students or your whole class, if that happened. But I would suggest that you focus on this idea of the caring exchange as caregiving and teaching being the same thing. And then, of course, we have your preview. Next week will be teaching health and nutrition to young children. So I hope this has been helpful.